Hey guys, in this video I'll be comparing Martin Fitzwater and Brandon Curry. I have a pretty good feeling that these two will be battling for a similar position, with Martin being the newcomer and Brandon being one of the last of his era. Both can be extremely dangerous when they're on, and I really wouldn't sleep on anyone when it comes to making the predictions for the 2024 Mr. Olympia. I think that Brandon can probably place higher than Martin if he brings a 2020 or 2019 look to the stage. However, Martin's more youthful physique seems more promising when it comes to a higher placing at the Mr. Olympia. Who do you think will place higher though at the Mr. Olympia this year? Let me know in the comments down below, and let's get into this video. The front double is a close shot to begin with, since both bring nice silhouettes and similar muscularity. For starters, Martin has a more youthful appearance, having fresher, fuller looking quads, wider lats, and great condition. In contrast, Brandon looks more worn out and less proportional, especially in the legs and the imbalanced arms. However, his aesthetics are nearly the same. Keep in mind that Brandon was sick prior to this stage appearance in this version, with there being a high likelihood of him bringing a better package this year. That said, between these two, I'd say that Martin wins due to the better legs, superior symmetry, and overall more impressive torso. The front lat spread is a relatively good shot for both, with similar sentiments to be said as in the last pose. Martin brings that fresher, younger look to the physique, having amazing quads with deep cuts and full muscle, great condition upstairs in the arms and delts, and relatively good lats as well. Brandon at his best, though, would utterly destroy Martin in this pose. However, with his kind of smaller, downsized legs, mediocre fullness, and alright condition, his physique really doesn't stand out like it used to. I do like his entire upper body more than Martin's, particularly for the waist and the lats, and honestly, I think I could get over his smaller legs. Martin does look big and imposing, especially in the legs. However, Brandon's tremendous upper body thickness might be a little too much in my opinion, and therefore I would give Brandon the win, but ever so slightly. The side chest is another close shot between these two, with both having distinct strengths and weaknesses. Martin, like in every pose so far and after, brings that youthful, fresh quality to his physique, having great muscularity and a decent amount of maturity as well. Brandon has tons of maturity and brings a 3D look to the arms and delts, has a nice detailed midsection, and a good chest and side leg. Martin undeniably wins the chest and side leg though, since he's bigger and more detailed in these areas, whereas Brandon takes the midsection, delts, and arms. Although Brandon brings nice shape and a decent mass, Martin's sheer size and detail are enough to take the win in my opinion, and definitely overpower Brandon in certain areas, like the chest and side leg. The rear double is an interesting pose because 2 or 3 years ago, Brandon was considered to have one of the best rear doubles ever really. While his back is great and is still better than Martin's, his lower body can't compete with the younger, hungrier competition. He honestly looks like a men's physique guy downstairs, and there's really no shame in that. However, I do really want to see him more conditioned and a bit more developed this year. I get it that he's in his 40s now, however, if Sean Roden could do it, then so can he. Martin clearly destroys Brandon downstairs and pushes him upstairs, bringing a more balanced look overall. For that reason, I think he would take the win. However, I am still extremely impressed with Brandon's upper body, which still looks world class. The rear lat spread is more of the same, with Martin actually surpassing Brandon in the back now. His lats are wider and his traps pop more, bringing an almost 3D Phil Heath-esque look to the stage. His legs are just as impressive as in the last pose, and they still demolish Brandon in both size and condition. For what it's worth, Brandon is relatively good in the back, however his glutes and hamstrings show little to no separation and look very underwhelming. Once again, a win for Martin, with the former champ falling short due to the lackluster lower body. The side tricep is actually a pretty close pose, since I like Brandon's aesthetic appeal and clean lines, while Martin's size, condition, and pop are great as well. Personally, my eyes seem to be drawn to the picture-perfect waist and controlled midsection of Brandon, with there being no distension or protrusion at all. Not only is his midsection great, but his side leg, arm, and delt all look good as well. Martin might be winning in areas like the arm, chest, and leg, and delt I'd say as well due to the size. However, his midsection is posed not really as well, and his side leg presentation causes him to lose the thickness. I think I would go with Brandon here, since his execution is near ideal, and his muscularity and condition appear good enough. The ab and thigh is a pose which you would think Brandon would run away with, considering he's known for that small waist, symmetrical abs, and great silhouette. While he's not bad, he's definitely looked better in the past, especially in the midsection. It kinda looks a bit washed out, and there aren't crazy details in the midsection compared to those of Martin. Honestly, his quads aren't even the issue since they showcase surprisingly good separation. The main problem is the midsection, which isn't as good as Martin's. Martin is not only wider in the lats, but his midsection is just as small and shows far more appealing separation and detail and definition. I will say that the ab split is a bit noticeable and off-putting, however, not enough to deduct any points. Then you move downstairs and you can see the phenomenal quads on Martin, and it's really game over. Definitely a win for him, with Brandon looking a bit, underwhelming, I'd say. The last pose, the most muscular, shows the true difference in density and muscularity between these two. While Brandon has those great arms and delts which seem to really not be going anywhere, Martin brings a competitive package in those areas along with a more defined midsection, better chest, and superior legs. I do like Brandon's roundness upstairs, however I really can't look past the shallow chest, washed out waist, and small outer quad sweep. I think that Martin overall is a little too big and too well proportioned for Brandon, even if the two are close in condition. Let me know in the comments down below who you think will place higher at the Mr. Olympia, and if you enjoyed, a like and sub would really be awesome. With that said, I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.